A bit of a pause that's coming out as
Away from
get back on. We can look at the grid.
Oh yeah.
Is it updated? I'm not too sure, but Alliance after the 3 previous games, they're going to be sitting at 8-5 record, and right now going against HellRaisers 3-6. Technically, I guess if HellRaisers can win all these games, they're still somewhat in the running. So this is a very, very valuable win. This could very well be the difference between them still being in the mix or definitely being out.
Yes, I think that's for sure. The grid is getting very interesting. That 5-6 loss range is right where you're walking the tightrope. Cloud9 with 6 losses, and hey, that's the wrong overlay there. That's my bad.
There you go.
Crazy.
Fantastic.
So looks like will Dread be going off lane with the Legion Commander? It appears so. Yoki will take the DP mid and now try lane in the safe lane, but we got a smoked up Alliance. They have not been revealed yet. HellRaisers, they're going to walk into the trap. Misery's been revealed, looking for the telekinesis, but can't get in range. Delta split.
Nice,
they will live.
Timid play from HellRaisers. Spots out the Rubik and quickly sees that they are going to go early aggressive as far as movement goes, and they quickly pull back. So, all right, avoid the early first blood. We saw a lot of very quick first bloods today. I almost think all 3 games had very swift first bloods.
Yeah, before the horn or shortly thereafter. Art style will be in the position 1. Razor immune takes the Skywrath, and that puts Dubas.
And away we go.
Sand King. He goes boots first. Smoke all ready to rock and roll, so he'll be able to move around and probably be stacking that jungle a little bit. Off lane LC. Have we seen this one yet? We've seen safe lane, we've seen mid. I don't think I've seen an off lane.
I've even seen support LC, so this pretty much guarantees I've seen LC already played in all roles, as every team is really trying to find out what the right spot is going to be for an LC for sure. I think the best performances I've seen were in the mid lane, but we'll see how it works here in the off lane. He does have the benefit of that extra heal, so we'll see how it works out for him. I'll go ahead and roll through your dire side. It's Alliance, of course, your TI3 champions. Didn't really have the best performance at TI4, but they're looking to bounce back on the back of this new patch. In your top lane, it's Ake returning once again as the Visage, as Dread scouts him out with the Invis rune. Loda going to be back again as your Naga Siren. In your mid lane, it's Chessie playing your Venomancer, and along the bottom we got none other than Mr. Bulldog. He's playing your Bat Rider.
Now you did miss one there, Chief.
Mercy, or Misery rather. Yeah, he's your Rubik doing the side screen. Mercy, yeah,
Mercy, have mercy, Misery.
Yeah.
You know, Ake, he's been playing a lot of Visage days. This is at least the 3rd of 4 games he's played Visage, if not all 4.
Third.
Okay.
He did play Skywrath in that previous matchup, but
yes,
he does favor those micro-intensive heroes. We, in the past saw him do a lot of Chen, a fair amount of Enchantress, but back again with the Visage.
Yep, so Dread not finding much here in this offlane, and now we'll get Grave Chilled, Telekinesis, not quite there, and he'll scurry back to safety. Has found almost his level 2, but no last hits. Bulldog on the off lane found at least a couple, and they're doing slightly better, but both sides in the 1v3. Not so easy.
Has to be very careful. I mean, Loda already has a point in ensnare. If Rubik moves in, gets a nice telekinesis lift, followed up with the Grave Chill and ensnare, it's going to be nearly a guaranteed kill. So Dread's going to have to do what he can, his trickery to kind of go here on the side, leech as much XP as possible, contest these runes, but overall it's going to be a hard time for him to find that CS. He does, however, walk into a bounty rune, so sweet.
Yeah, how nice for him. It's a little bit of extra experience, and the bounty runes are actually great on offlaners as well as support, so that is...
Look who's coming in from the side. It is Immune, moving to a custom shot. There's your Burrow Strike. This could be your first blood, and there it is. It's Yoki. Picks up your first blood on that Death Prophet. I'm very happy with that one. HellRaisers strike first.
Yep, and it's Yoki that gets the bonus gold. Great news as always when Death Prophet finds a little bit of momentum, as we saw in the last game. Even when she gets shut down early, can still recover and have a ridiculous late game. And when you have a good early game, that usually means your late game is not going to be too shabby either.
That game shows that Death Prophet just such a... She's still a strong force. I mean, I haven't seen a worse start for a Death Prophet in a long time. And still being able to come back and rip through the Alliance base, that was extremely impressive. Yeah. So, something to look out for.
And not only did Yoki get the first blood, but he is trashing Chessie. Last hits 18-5 versus the 6-0 Venomancer. This mid lane is, dare I say, a disaster for Alliance.
And Misery doesn't have a smoke, so I don't think Alliance quite have plans to move towards that mid lane and add pressure on the Death Prophet. And, Visage is not going to get a whole lot done either. They're banking on the idea of maybe getting some kills on the top lane for Dread and hoping that Loda will be able to benefit. But Misery Oh, gonna scout him out here. Gonna go for the lift. We are. Lift up, throw back right now. Ake gonna go in the front lines, try to block him back right here, and here comes Loda. Throws out the ensnare. They're looking to park him down right now. Can Dredd get away from this one? He cannot. Gets blasted down. It's Ake who picks up the last and final hit, and now Alliance even things up 1-for-1.
Yeah, they get on the scoreboard. Loda gets a little bit of space in lane, and the safe lane farmers just lackluster in CS in general. Both Loda and Artstyle around 13, 14 last hits, half of what the Death Prophet has from the mid lane. And in the 1v3s, you'd think that they'd be able to farm a little bit better, but pulling into the towers and the presence of the offlaners. Quite irritating, but Bulldog, he's in some trouble. Dubas connects with a stun. Immune up on the high ground. They don't have the damage, and Bulldog will be able to Firefly back to safety. He's already found his level 4 and 11 last hit, so having a much better time than Dredd in the offlane for the Radiant.
He'll fly himself right back, and good notion here for HellRaisers on this safe lane. A couple of them pick up that magic wand, which is the smart choice to do when you're going to be going against the offlane Batrider, or maybe like a Bristleback or something similar, knowing that those napalm stacks are going to keep coming out. And here they go, they're looking to move forward. Static Link, and they're looking out to do some big damage. He flies to the right-hand side. Here comes a rotation. Arcane Bolt, that should get the kill easily, and he does go down. Ake comes in, quickly realizes that maybe he will not be able to do anything. Oh, Arcane Bolt whips. Oh, one more auto attack. Oh, a turn-back soul assumption as he manages to trade 1-for-1, but regardless, a 1-for-2 trade when it's all said and done. 3-for-2 advantage HellRaisers.
Yeah, nice that he was able to at least grab the Razor before he went down, but it seems they're just underestimating the amount of damage he was able to steal and then put out. Now Immune on the retreat. Will get some sticky stacked up on him, but he's just too damn speedy. He doesn't have his boots. Bulldog trying to chase him down. Concussive is just enough to ensure his survival. Now in the top lane, Loda gets initiated on by Dredd, but he's got Misery nearby. He will press the attack, and Dredd will do some pretty solid damage, showing us the power of the off-lane LC when he gets a little bit of space. Has picked up a bottle to go with his boots. The power of these extra runes here, giving him a little more flexibility.
Nicely formed. Because of that rotation from Ake earlier, this has allowed Dredd the opportunity to build in some CS. Now sporting 15-1 on the LC. Very nice stuff, pushing towards that level 5. Getting closer to the duel, and ideally would love to get some quick pickoffs with that. So at that point, we could see more rotation and attention to the top lane from HellRaisers, so Dredd may be able to build up that extra bit of damage for down the road.
Yep, now mid lane is still just a complete massacre in terms of raw last hits. Yoki will head up to the rune a little bit early, wants to camp it out and fill up his bottle regardless of what it is, but 45 last hits. Death Prophet is just racking up the farm. Look at the net worth difference. She's at 3.4. The next highest is 2K. The leading farmers in the safe lanes as well as the Venomancer in the mid. So.
Just to show the difference from last game and the Death Prophet who had struggled, her phase boots was completed at about like 12, I want to say 12 to 15 minutes. She already has hers. She has a bottle ready to go and a DD, and it's only been about 6 minutes. So this Death Prophet...
With 600 gold to spare.
Yeah, having a fantastic time in comparison. And Alliance struggled against that Death Prophet, so hopefully they've has a better strategy against going against this Prophet later in the game.
Batrider is soon to be level 6, so as soon as Bulldog gets his lasso, that's usually when he'll want to start moving around a little bit, depending on how the lane momentum has come down. One of the issues for Alliance is that Loda is now making use of the jungle, which means Batrider won't have anything to retreat to find some good recovery farm. So his Blink Dagger will be quite a ways coming. He went for the bottle, so probably won't get Tranks up right away. We'll just stay on the brown boots and look straight towards the Blink Dagger.
Your Arcane Boots now picked up from the Sand King. Most Sand Kings will just move in the jungle, build up that bit of farm. But no, he wants to build up a little extra mana pool, so looking to make it work for now. And, well, Bulldog offs back towards that jungle, like you said, and we'll be able to find the farm elsewhere right now. But this is leaving extra space once again for Dredd, and Dredd will continue to take advantage of that and farm up much further. So it's a little early to say, but I like HellRaisers' start right now as they leave the starting line.
They're off to a great start. The Death Prophet that we've harped on so much will be on to a fast Yules. May look for a drum stop off, but Yoki will get converged on. Misery TP's out, but there's Batrider coming over the tree line. That's a lasso from the Bulldog. Now Yoki will get drug into no man's land. There's a level 1 Venomous Gale that will connect, but Yoki with 15 wand charges, he might be able to turn this around. Bulldog taking a lot of damage. Tower shots, that'll make it a 1-for-1. Death Prophet gets the kill before she goes down, gets all that solo kill XP. It's not too bad. Meanwhile, in the top lane, LC and the Sky Wrath pick up a kill on Ake as they dive the tower. It's a 1-for-2 across the map, and the HellRaisers will be okay with it as they also get a tier 1 tower. What's going on with the Alliance today, Dakota?
Not too sure. I mean, I hope they didn't have a bad dinner or something before they started this game. But, yep, they pull out the duel there in the top lane, but they don't manage to get the bonus damage. Dread gets stuck behind the tower, but forced to TP back to the base, and he'll make the long run back to the lane. But regardless, happy about that one. HellRaisers, well in the head, 5-3. Your new score on the board right now. Look at the Sand King.
Yep.
Way in the enemy territory.
Aggressive on the Misery. They're gonna converge. It's gonna be a Rubik's sandwich.
And trying to catch it out. Yeah, they can find it.
Oh, get telekinesis. Silence flies through, and Sand King will come in with a Burrow Strike. Artstyle gets credit for that one. Going for a very fast Midas on this Razor. As Bulldog comes in, Lasso's still on cooldown. And won't be able to find a kill. And creating some space in the mid for Yoki to use his ultimate and try and exercise down this tower.
This is ideally when you want to do, especially when you're going against a team that's got the Naga, because, you know, they're looking to press it towards the late game, but as long as you can keep getting tower after tower after tower, you're going to be restricting the map space for that Naga to farm up. And wow, just like that, Ake gets quickly bursted down. That Skywrath Mage moving right in and getting work done and following it up with the extra damage from Death Prophet. Very nice grab right there for HellRaisers.
Yeah, immune. There's nowhere for him to go. Will run into Oblivion. Loda connects with the net and gives him the swords, chops him in half. So recovery kill for Alliance, but suffice it to say, HellRaisers finding some good momentum in this whole time. Dread's been pretty quiet. Naga's moved into the jungle, and they dove on the Visage to get him a kill, and now he's at 1,850 gold, well on his way to a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I would imagine it is going to be a Blink Dagger, and get that extra benefit from the good initiation. And look at that, nice convenient.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Going for broke.
Not looking to go on through, and
Oh,
there we go. Hey,
okay.
we're back in it.
And
9-5. I don't think anything too significant just happened here, but HellRaisers
maybe it
pushed
was
the mid lane.
just us. Rubik
yeah,
died. All right,
Misery died.
Rubik's going to get juiced. Sand King finds a kill. It looks like that was up in the top lane. Sorry, folks, getting my bearings about me here. Glancing at the graph, yeah, they've just found some momentum. The bottom rune, don't know what happened after that fight, but all right, let's recap ourselves. Net worth-wise, HellRaisers are in great shape. The Yules is just about to come out on the Death Prophet, just a Void Stone away. Sand King, he's got 1,000 gold towards the Blink. LC has the Blink and 700 gold. So it looks like things have gone pretty well for Dread in our little interim period there. And wow, this Razor, now he's close to a mech, just about at the recipe. That Hand of Might is already paying off though. Ooh, Artstyle taking a lot of damage. Silence on Bulldog will come out just a little too soon. He connects with the lasso. Will be a dead Razor in the mid. Will there be any follow-up kills coming out? Teal on his way in. Dread hasted up, looking for the duel. Will find it onto the Bulldog, but the follow-up damage isn't there. And Dread, he may hand damage over the other way. No, the duel will expire. Now he's on the run. Flame Break will be off the money, and the haste rune will ensure his survival. Playing with fire right there.
Yeah, indeed, as the bird wasn't quite there in time to be able to get a prompt stun off, and just that haste rune gets him out. Free get out of jail free card, I guess you could say, is Dread try to get a quick pick off himself, but not going to be so lucky. And now, up on the top lane, I imagine they are going to go for a focus here. They've already taken 2 tier 1 towers at about the 10-minute mark, so they're off to a fancy start right now. And there's your concussive shot. Misery might be caught out right here, all in alone. Looking to go forward. Burrow Strike. Oh, a return Burrow Strike from Misery from taken before. And, well, they also take the Skywrath Mage, but before he goes, he takes Arcane Bolt for himself. Misery with surprise.
Radiant's mid-tower's getting back
Burrow
up.
strike return.
Yeah, the playmaker right there, but Dread coming in. He's got a duel ready. Does a lot of damage to Misery with the overwhelming odds to get things started. Just looking for the duel. Free damage coming out right here. He should have enough to bring him down. Winner, winner. He'll grab some bonus damage now up in the top lane. Yoki will come in. He'll find Ake. One more auto attack ought to bring him down. It's Dread with the double. They find some vengeance for their fallen comrades, and HellRaisers right there with the response.
Very nice stuff. They also secure the tower, so that's all 3 tier 1s already taken down here, and pressure's on for Alliance, and especially on Loda, to try to build up as much farm as possible. Given he has had plenty of space to work with and benefited from that kill earlier, he's at about 3,300 gold right now, so really bulldozing towards that Sacred Relic and that Radiance.
Yeah, going for the Radiance Rush, a very risky build. We've seen a lot of Nagas steer away from this because if you get picked off, it's bad news bears. But he's 1-0-1, found a lot of space, as you mentioned, and if HR don't punish him, they will be feeling the hurt of that Radiance burn sooner rather than later. Looks like Venomancer has found some recovery here. His net worth looking pretty good, but speak of the devil, he'll get silenced, and a lot of damage will come his way. Flamebreak will actually help out Artstyle a little bit, get in position. The Mystic Flare will be enough to bring him down. Now Skywrath Mage, he's pulled to the high ground, but he'll go onto the Bulldog. Dread's there with the duel, and this should be some more damage going the way of the LC, but no! He gets stunned up and finds the kill, but doesn't get the bonus damage. Or actually, did he get the damage?
He
from that
did.
one? Oh, he did. Okay, close call. Very close call, but he gets it. Visage Familiar is almost enough. It's a 2-for-1, and now LC already at plus 35 damage.
Very good stuff for him, and if he wants, he can build a little extra damage from there. We've seen some LCs like to build up an armlet, but if he's feeling like he might need it, he could get the BKB for a little extra survivability. But
I like the Blade Mail, too. I think it's a...
yeah, Blade Mail also
Great
a
on that
fantastic
hero.
item. So we'll see how Dread's playstyle is going to be. We see him extremely aggressive in this game.
So HR still in a good place following that little set of kills there. We'll see how things continue to transpire. Mr. Courier headed to the secret shop here, and nope, thought he was going to pick something up. But Loda, is that a relic coming out? Or she blows. He's got the gold for it, and it's sooner rather than later. Trying to save up some of that reliable gold, it looks like, and we'll just bite the bullet. And 15-minute relic, pretty solid timing here, Dakota.
Looks like Venomancer working towards his own Agnum Scepter would love to benefit from being able to rip apart the HellRaisers squad right now and just wither them down to a low health pool, allowing someone like Naga with that Radiance to kind of clean house. So see if it works towards their benefit. But I think Alliance need to consider going more on the initiative at this point. I mean, you got Bulldog ready to go with the blink. Actually, he spouts out Razor here potentially, but not going to bite just yet. Doesn't quite have the follow-up if he does commit, and we'll see how it goes. And
Up on Dubas, though. This is always a big one. Sand King, also level 8, has his Epicenter at the ready. This gives HR a lot of team fight potential. Also, a mech versus no mech advantage is great news. I think HR need to keep up this aggression, look for fights at any turn. Razor with the Midas will help them secure some late game power against the Naga. Obviously not the same level of pressure, but at least they have a farming tool at their disposal. I think they should look towards investing into a pipe as well. That's one of the best ways to deal with a Venomancer who has this kind of farm and is looking towards a fast Aghanims.
I agree with that. Go HellRaisers going on the aggressive, scouting out Dread. And this sees Chessie getting ready to pull out the duel. Jump in. Chessie does get off the ultimate just in time, but it might be the end of the road for him. Oh, not enough time to get the bonus damage, however, though Chessie does go down. Does Burst move in? Stun's not going to quite be there, but does catches the Razor. Your Link only briefly. Oh, they end up taking down the Legion Commander. The Venomancer ult clearly doing hefty work there, plus the Naga Illusions with that big damage. Familiar to gold?
Oh, nice
Yummy,
200 bounty, but Misery, he gets left outside of the base. Mystic Flare flies through, and that will be a 1-for-2. Now Bulldog gets caught by Dubas. He'll channel the ultimate Epicenter flying through. Bulldog trying to make it to the high ground. He'll lasso the Epicentered Sand King, and it'll secure the kill. Oh, man, now Loda uses the song of the Siren, but won't really do much in keeping his allies alive. It ends as a 1-for-4 trade. HellRaisers. Let's look at that team fight recap, and oh, daddy, it's a big one.
A lot of icons on that screen right there. A lot of spells expended. But yeah, 4 for 1 in the end. Big advantage for HellRaisers as they continue to go on the offensive, and this Death Prophet continues to build up more and more significant amount of farm for herself. A level 2 exorcism to boast on that, and this should make easy tier 2 clearage if they wanted to go on forward. She quickly clearing out some of these creeps, and I would imagine in the near future HellRaisers want to continue taking these objectives, getting those towers down.
Definitely so. Now Dread moving into what looks like a blade mail, has himself the broadsword. And also just a good item to pick up first. It gives you a nice chunk of damage, plus 18. He's hitting pretty damn hard already with pretty basic items. Also a double damage rune in the bottle. This is such a scary one to have in the arsenal of the Legion Commander. It looks like he'll set his sights towards Chessie. No Poison Nova available, but there's a lot of support inbound from Alliance. Dread goes for it nonetheless. Rubik looking for the steal. Will not be able to find it, and, well, it'll be a loss to duel, but no damage goes out to Venomancer. Expires just before Dread goes
That was
down.
a great bait out from Alliance. They saw that Dread was coming up with this ward down here, and they kind of just let Chessie stay there. They waited it out, and then it was Bulldog right there to jump in quickly, lasso him up, and they made Dread pay for it. So good bait out right there from the side of Alliance, and they get the pick off. Well worth it for them. One step in the right direction to coming back from what was a bit of a struggle in the early game.
Yeah, and now the Radiance is up on Loda, so their lives will get a lot easier. He'll find some icky mud golems to celebrate, but that's okay. His farm will certainly accelerate quite a bit. Death Prophet thinking that she might be going up for a fast Heart of Tarrasque, but it does end up being an Atos. And speak of the devil, Bulldog's there with the lasso. Rubik to follow up, but the Flame Break takes her to the high ground. Telekinesis is there to lock her in place, and a nice bounty coming out for the Radiant side. Meanwhile, Loda, he'll take a fall up top. Mystic Flare on top of the stun from the Sand King seems to be enough to secure that kill. So kind of a 1-for-1 following there, and good to kill the Naga always, but this is that timing window where Loda can be somewhat okay with getting picked off, as he has that big farming tool.
For HellRaisers here, you might need to consider employing the buddy-buddy system a little bit more. For right now, you have Razor, for example, on the bottom lane all by himself, pops out the mech for a little extra sustain, but working much closer to getting a hold of that Agnums. He's actually just about 400 gold away, and he'll have it about complete and ready to go. And that Eye of the Storm is definitely going to help out in taking down these towers very, very quickly.
Yeah, the Venoman... actually, Razor has it now. He's going to be flying the Courier over, just going to pick up that point booster, and Venomancer has his Aghanim, so this is really scary. There was also a recent change in this patch where now the Venomancer poison will persist through BKB.
That's correct.
It doesn't do the damage, but the debuff will stay on, so if your BKB expires, you'll still be taking heavy, heavy poison damage.
Much true, and for maybe some of these heroes that might go for that BKB down the road, like your Razor, maybe even your LC, that is something to, be cautious for, and that's why I feel like maybe that pipe is going to be a strong pickup, though I'm not sure who the pipe candidate might be. It could be a Sand King here, if they'd like to go down that road. Also, a mech could be strongly considered by their team, as no one has opted to pick one up just yet, and for the side of Alliance, Ake not going down the road of getting the early medallion in this game. Instead, he's just going to go promptly for the Agnums to get a hold of that third familiar.
This is the pretty common build on Visage. I guess Alliance figuring they won't really be too interested in Roche anyhow, given Naga will be wanting to farm during that initial timing.
But you know who is interested in Roche? The HellRaisers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yoki uses the ultimate, and this should be pretty easy. No medallion of their own. They do have a mechanism up on the Razor now that can go with that Ag Scepter. So they have a little bit of healing power. They will get an uncontested Roshan, and Aegis goes to the Razor. Now, another change worth mentioning. Eye of the Storm no longer persists through the Aegis death, and that was one of the reasons Razor used to be one of the best Aegis carriers in the game, at least in the top 3, and now he's just okay. He's mediocre. Sand King pressing forward, will connect with a stun onto Loda. Misery steals the Burrow Strike.
Song can't come off if you're silenced up here, Loda. Arcane Bolt flies out. They need one more bit of damage, and they get it done. And they're also going to follow it up potentially, and they get Misery down as well. A very, very low Skywrath Mage does manage to escape the tail, but it's very good for... Oh, nice jump through. They catch out Bulldog here. Dread going toe-to-toe. Chessie jumps in with the Poison Nova, but also with an ultimate to jump in is the Sand King, and they take down 4 for none.
Wow, Poison Nova not lethal. Dubas will go down to 1 health, but he goes into the Sandstorm, won't take any damage from Poison Sting, and he lives as he TPs back to the well. 4-0 Dakota Alliance. They're at risk of getting upset again here, and this is starting to look rough. 7,500 gold, 14,000 experience, 22 minutes in. That's a big deal.
Big deal indeed, but we say time and time again, it's 6.82, and those bounties are a little bit better. The numbers are being tweaked day by day as far as how they're going to be adjusted as far as fairness is concerned, but regardless, it could be a bit of a buff here for Alliance if they can get the appropriate pick off on some of these HellRaiser targets. But yeah, for right now, the snowball factor is very much real for him. Dread sporting a plus 48 bonus damage right now. Death Prophet with that Atos complete, but 2.2k in the bank, can decide to build up a little extra sustain, a little extra durability with either a Shivas or a Heart or what have you.
Yeah, I think normally I'd say Shivas, all that armor really helps deal with Death Prophet's weak point, but magic armor I think is going to be more the way to go here. Between the Poison Nova, the fire from the Bat Rider, the Radiance Burn, there's a lot of magic damage here, and that's where HR need to focus. We've already brought up the concept of a pipe a couple times, and maybe they don't have an ideal carrier, but hell, give it to the Sand King. This guy's got 3,000 gold to spare right now, 4-1 and 5. You know, damage is not going to be their problem. You've got to farm Death Prophet, you've got this LC with 48 plus damage. I think your Sand King can stop off for a more defensive item as Dread will hop on the Bulldog, misses the overwhelming odds, but there's a Mystic Flare. We've got another winner. That's 62 damage now on the LC. And it will make it a 5v4 as Alliance are forced to retreat towards their tier 2 tower in the mid.
I really like that combo factor of the duel and the Mystic Flare. Locking him in place and then being able to burst it down with the assistance of Skywrath Mage makes a additional bonus damage that much easier for Dread. So making it work right there, and now they add pressure on this mid tier 2 tower. Fortifications forced to be pulled out as Chessie's laying down a foundation of wards to try to really slow down the incoming presence, but really that's not going to be a true formidable defense to stop them from getting it done. So there's your first tier 2 going to be taken down. Alliance, as their stretched out leash of farm, is slowly being pulled back little by little, but Loda is farming his own bit of farm here on the opponent's side jungle, just desperately trying to be the dark horse for his team to pull it back out.
Yeah, doing everything he can. I like the movement to go into the Radiant jungle, knowing that HR are on the dire side of the map. That's the safest place to farm. He will be able to head back to safety and now should have his BOTs coming out next. Yeah, there you have it. Probably Yasha, his next item of choice, will follow that standard item trajectory. But this is one of the issues with the Naga against a really aggressive lineup. The Radiance is just the beginning. That's your farming tool. You're still not really in fighting shape. Look at his HP pool. Less than 1,000. He is so squishy, and if they can silence, lock him down before he gets off the ultimate, it is no good. Ooh, this courier flying over away, and that's a dead Radiant courier. No cargo, but nice little gold pick-me-up going the way of Alliance.
That's a good point, and just the way the game has been progressing thus far, it's more HellRaisers on the offensive, and typically for a team like Alliance, and especially having that Bat Rider, you want them to be able to be the initiators, trying to catch out what they can. But if they make a jump in on Loda, going for that precious Naga already with such a low health pool, it's going to be them to go on the more defensive route, and that's not exactly what you want, and I'm sure not exactly the game plan they were hoping for here. So for now, it's going to be more of a stall game, as they just really hope the Naga's going to be able to bring it through, whether it's resorting to more of a rat Dota or just trying to get as much damage together as possible.
Yoki now moves into the plate mail, so it will probably be a Shivas on him. Sand King still just holding on to all this money. You're not collecting interest, pal. He's got 4,000 gold. I'm really curious what he'll go for. He could soon just right-click an Aghanim Scepter. A great item on the Sand King if he's your big damage dealer. Also, a Veil of Discord, one that he could consider, though not a huge amount of synergy with the Veil this game. Razor doing mostly physical damage, even with the ultimate. Same with Death Prophet, less that of the Crypt Swarm. So I don't know that it's the right game for the Veil, but, well, could help buff up the Skywrath Mage. Very curious where he'll end up. Aegis will get reclaimed, but HellRaisers, they move right into this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Loda is split pushing up top, so it is a 5v4 in the bottom lane. HellRaisers with the advantage.
And in this art style, pops out the Eye of the Storm, manages to sneak down one familiar, but now more pressure on this tier 2 tower right now. No glyph to work right now. This is going to be an easy second tier 2 tower to fall right here for the HellRaisers. Looking really strong this game, just not letting go of the reins. They need to push on well and ahead here, so they take what they can and pull back. And yeah, Loda's just trying desperately to find the farm he wants, or maybe some sort of side tower to just bring that extra income, not only for himself, but for his team.
He is finding decent farm. The net worth gap is quickly growing as Loda does have a lot of room to farm. Right now, Alliance just trying to bide their time, minimize their losses while Loda farms up. They will smoke forward, looking to catch a straggler, but they'll find no one. Maybe the Razor if he takes a pass into the river, but no, art style just focused around farming in the jungle. Dread will bottle up an invisibility rune. He even has a lot of money stockpiled as well. Will he pick something up here, thinking about it? Instead, just eats the invis.
So guess what the investment was for Sand King? He's going for a heart. Don't see that a whole lot often, but yeah, looking to get a little bit of extra tankiness, you know. I mean, that renders one of their biggest damage dealers, Loda, just that much less useful as trying to take down even just their support. Their support's becoming more tanky than most of the Alliance's teams, so
yeah. I
pretty
guess Sand King is kind of their frontliner outside of the LC, so with this Tart, he can jump in, be the initiator, and then just pop back out. Even just a 4-staff after Blink Dagger is pretty common, so that he has an escape vehicle after initiating. This Sand King living life on the edge, I guess you could say. BKB also completed on the Razor. Art Style Finding is level 16, so structures will start to take a lot of damage, and now a full BKB picked up on Dread. This is always a big item on LC, is now Duel is possible to deal with. And a double damage room.
If things weren't hard enough for Alliance as it is, everything is just coming up HellRaisers right now, and well, Chessie on this Venomancer is going to have that much harder of a time really making a big impact in these fights if the majority of HellRaisers, especially their cores, have these BKBs to just thwart back any sort of presence. Now, yes, I know the ult will persist through it, but it's not going to persist or help out at all when you get caught out in a duel like that, and it's Viper to clean up the kill. Dread benefits from the extra damage. That double damage, though, is what cleans them out very, very quickly.
Top lane, Sand King almost lives on the onslaught of the Bat Rider and the Naga. Will get picked off, and it ends as a 1-for-1, but even if you just have these kind of trades where Alliance gets the slightly higher gold gain out of it, you get dual damage on your LC. So that's still a great trade. They burn the double damage rune for it. But now this LC plus 76 damage, Bulldog in the tree line, no TP, though I'm not sure that they had the intel to actually scout it out and see that he doesn't have a TP. Instead, he'll be able to just blink and 4-staff his way to safety, and now Firefly comes back online, and the Bulldog will live.
Yep, rotations to come, though, as HellRaisers, their objective next is going to be taking down this final outer tower on the side of Alliance, and it is Death Prophet who's going to be making her appearance here. That level 3 Exorcism will make quick work of this if they want, but only Eye of the Storm going to be committed for now, because if they take this out nice and quickly, they can save it and maybe make a push for the first time into the base.
Yeah, or just smoke, fake back, and then have the ultimate available for a team fight.
Or for Roche.
A lot of aggressive potential. Yeah, is Roche on his way up? Very soon. Okay. Gets scouted out by the Dire side. Yeah, I think Alliance may want to consider trying to contest this Roshan with Bat Rider there. Even if they could just snatch the Aegis, that could be a big deal. Having the Naga Siren, level 14, Leap does make that kind of a play more of a possibility. Roche is officially up.
2 of them have BKB, so if they want to go on the counter-offensive there, they can even just pop out from that song and make something happen. So it's going to be a bit touchy here for Alliance if they did want to try to counter any sort of Roche attempt. So, but it doesn't seem to be what HellRaisers want to do for now. They're just going to keep trying to keep these creep waves pushed on forward, create space so that if they did want to buckle back and get that done, it would be that much harder for Alliance to pursue over there without being spotted out.
Yep. Venomancer now has a Blink Dagger following his Aghanim Scepter and a Cloak, maybe looking to move into to a Pipe or just a casual Cloak for now to help him tank up. Visage found his Aghanim, so there is a third bird on the field, and here we see Loda with really his first core item following the BOTs. It is the Manta style. So finally tanking up a bit more. LC going balls to the wall here. BKB on, just charging in, uses the Blade Mail, can't find a duel, and will be pressed back. Dread getting a little bit aggressive there, and that is his 10-second BKB charge essentially wasted. And I think more importantly, it will be on cooldown in case Alliance want to move into the Roche pit, and they will be in hot pursuit.
And here we go. It would look like the original plan was to scout out the bottom, but they move on over and they see the pit, and they're like, let's go ahead and make use of this. And look at it coming from behind right now. Jumping from Chessie to get out the ultimate. BKBs are popped. It will persist on through. Remember that. And it's Razor to pop out his BKB and looking to go toe-to-toe. And, well, Death Prophet very low, but still living. That Exorcism looking to persist on through, but they managed to take down 2 now. Big fight for Alliance thus far, as it looks like HR on the retreat. Soul Assumption flies and does take down as Naga cleans up the kill on Razor. Dread, the only survivor right here, as he has to
bought
decide
back. He actually died.
So it was a 5-man takedown.
Yep.
Alliance. I was questioning whether or not they're going to be able to contest the Roche, and well, they proved me wrong as they jump in and really do a nice job cleaning house.
7,000 net worth change across that. The buyback really helping out in terms of dumping the net worth, but oh my gosh, Alliance are right back in this. They'll finish off Roche. Now this Naga Siren.
Look how rich everyone is on the side of Alliance. God. 1,900 gold for Visage, 2K for Misery, 16K there, 18K there. They are all pretty wealthy.
Yep, and now they'll even get a tier 2 tower out of it. So these graphs just taking a nosedive down in favor of Alliance. That's that comeback gold that everyone's been talking about on that patch. Just looking at current gold, everyone at 1,800 plus as they start to spend their new spoils. Bat Rider finds himself some BOTs. things now a little bit more scary for HR. Certainly not out of it yet, but now this Naga is officially online, Coddle Guy.
Certainly is, and we'll see. We saw in the first game, Loda definitely knows how to exercise these Naga illusions and really become a pain in the ass about ratting out the side lanes and constantly keeping pressure. And for HellRaisers, hope they don't get thwarted too much and just keep their eyes on the prize, taking advantage of that Death Prophet and just trying to take the fights they want. And that was the big risk right there when they went for the Roshan. They got caught out. They need to make sure they are on the initiative and they can take advantage of a full duration exorcism.
Yeah, the other problem there was that Dubas was just not in a great position to get off the epicenter, and I feel like that's a key facet of their damage output. He was kind of caught on this side of the Roche pit and was interrupted by the Radiance Burn from one of the Naga illusions before he could blink in and do any kind of damage. So he ended up dying before the ultimate came out, and just great initiation from Alliance. It seems like HR just weren't quite expecting it. Venomancer now going the max DPS build, moves into a Veil of Discord after its Aghanim Scepter, very close to level 16, and this is a sick amount of damage that this ultimate can put out, especially once he finds this last bit of experience.
Yep. More pressure here for Alliance on the bottom lane. They had already taken that tier 2 tower and looking to creep themselves forward. For HellRaisers, they're feeling more obligated to try to get something done down this mid lane path. They've already taken down all of those exterior towers and might need to consider going for the high ground relatively soon here. This Naga can prove to be a big problem the longer they let this game go out, so...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. HR seem to be on the back foot now, losing all that momentum, and they need to keep the aggression up. This is one of these games where you can't just sit back and play safe. You will lose the late game against this Naga. Even with this Razor decently farmed, he'll have a refresher eventually, but Naga will just slowly whittle you down, keep chipping at these structures. You have no way to heal your T3s, so anytime these illusions come in and just do 50 damage, it costs Loda nothing, and that's the fundamental problem that they don't have a cure for.
Look at the dip on that graph. I know you already pointed out once before, but that is awfully dramatic, and that is
shoehorn, dude.
6.82 right there in a nutshell if I ever saw myself.
Yeah,
and
looks like a stick figure kicking a soccer ball.
Here we go. HellRaisers, though, still lingering around this mid lane. Just, maybe they feel a bit puzzled as far as what their game plan actually is going to be from this point. They can't really afford to hand over another team fight like that, so they want to be able to move in on their own right here. It's pushing out the front. Razor with his Eye of the Storm ready to go. Death Prophet with her ultimate ready to go right now, and well, let's try to get something done. But yeah, they need everyone here if they want to make something done. Dread is busy being caught out here by the bottom rune area right now, and they need that extra bit of damage.
Yeah, they need their LC for sure. Also just as an initiator, but they go straight up towards the high ground. Glyph is available for the Dire. Art Style on the front line will mech up. Yoki uses the ultimate, and now they'll go in on the Misery. Dubas secures the kill. Mystic Flare, kind of wasted, but they still get the kill nonetheless. Naga Siren gets a tier 2 tower while all this is going on. The Glyph has already been deployed, and the tier 3 tower will fall. So far, a great trade for the HellRaisers. And now they go back in, Shivas to kind of zone them out, and they'll focus the barracks. Bulldog hops forward, grabs Dread. Of all heroes, LC will get completely locked down. The follow-up damage is there. He's the first to fall. Now Dubas off to the side, brings down Chessie with the epicenter. Loda taking some heavy damage, still has the ultimate available to split this up. The Razor falls on the retreat. Now Yoki and Dubas on the run, but will they be able to survive is another question. Yoki pretty damn fast. Dubas with a nice stun across, creates some space for his team. He will fall. And it will be a repel from Alliance, a 2-for-3 trade, and a tower for tower, tier 2 for tier 3. Not a bad hold.
No, not at all. At the start of that first high ground push, yeah, it was Loda and his illusions doing work at the top tier 2, quickly clearing that out, and the creeps were already getting ready to go at that top high ground area right now, and now they look to push on forward. And as they get fights like that, and especially with your Naga and those boots of travel, could quickly get back into one of those lanes and start pushing pretty heavy here. So wow, really strong start for HellRaisers, but things are getting a bit nerve-wracking for them as they slowly realize that this is getting a lot tougher than we anticipated.
Usually that 30-minute mark, at least in the last patch, is your good rule of thumb for when the carries start to take over, and 35 minutes in, Naga is completely online. Has the Reaver, will be into Heart of Tarask very soon, and this is where Loda is just so damn tanky. You can't just go, you can't have your strategy of, well, just kill the Naga. It just doesn't work. She's too damn big. So now they need keen initiation, and it wasn't all bad for HellRaisers. It was a semi-even trade. They got the tier 3 tower, so there is still a sliver of hope, but I feel like it's more in the hands of Alliance for Loda to make a misplay. If he dies, gets caught without buyback, then Alliance are in trouble. But as long as he's a little bit careful with his positioning, maintains a decent pool of gold to have that buyback ready, Alliance should be in good shape.
They're also very wealthy. Look at Bulldog, nearly 4K gold available there. Ooh. Checking out their courier, the heart's now complete on Loda, and someone has an Assault Curios ready to go as well. So, looking very good because as they do get ready to approach the HellRaisers side, they'll be able to wither down those towers that much quicker with that benefit.
Yeah, that's actually the Visage.
Uh-oh.
And Radiant's courier gets picked off. Let's see what was on it.
1,200 gold of cargo.
Let's see here. Oh, that's a Heart of Tarask recipe. That hurts quite a bit. That is Yoki's on the Death Prophet. So he actually has enough gold to finish it off. And that will be now 3 minutes where DP is significantly less strong than she should be. The Assault Cuirass was Ake's, by the way, so Visage now with a curious amount of armor, and of course that negative armor aura.
Looking to press on forward here, and you know, we saw in that game number 1, Ake with the familiars, and of course Loda with those Naga illusions. They know how to draw attention towards pushing into the base, and we might see a bit of deja vu from game number 1 in this wrap-up here. Now, for HellRaisers, got to stop being on the defensive, though. Got to consider making a move forward here. That refresher pickup now from the Razor, yeah, it's going to definitely help out a lot. The double Eye of the Storm Agnums is something that you cannot, you know, underestimate. It's going to be able to rip out a lot of serious damage.
Yeah, definitely. They may want to just sit back and wait for the courier to respawn. I feel like that's another 2 minutes is not going to cost them too much. The Heart of Tarask will make a big difference on this Death Prophet. Also, Dread working on probably an Assault Cuirass of his own, has the Hyperstone, kind of the value piece already. Guess that's good news. Batrider finds his BKB, so Bulldog spending some of that hard-earned money. But HR, they won't wait for the courier. They're not going to delay, and they want this set of barracks. Glyph is still on cooldown.
Oh no, the stun!
Oh no, Arcstyle gets pulled to no man's land. He'll be the first one to go down. Chessie falls shortly after. Dubas with a huge ultimate, ground pounding, doing a lot, but he'll fall in the end. Dread now on the defensive. Yoki took a lot of damage, just won't be able to survive. It will be a 3-for-1 trade. Immune will try to TP home. He'll live, as will Yoki, but the stolen exorcism from Rubik. I thought that seemed like a lot of ghosts. Misery with the big plays. And now Alliance. They have command of this game, to say the least.
Well, what it looked like was HellRaisers ascending the staircase into darkness, didn't realize the 3 familiars there, and Ake just pulled out some nice stuns, and Razor got locked down before he could even get the BKB off, and, well, they punished him. He couldn't do anything. No mech, no refresher, no nothing. So he went in with the Eye of the Storm, but pretty much that's all he had before he ultimately got taken down very quickly, and now Alliance bouncing right back dramatically. They take down the tier 2 tower. They're looking to push high ground, going knocking at the mid lane door here, and wow. Alliance take the game right back in dramatic fashion. What started as nearly 11k gold lead for HellRaisers has swung all the way down in Alliance's favor, as now they're pushing it into the racks. This could be your mid lane racks taken down.
Yeah, definitely.
And it is very easy.
It will be. Razor coming up. He has the double ultimate available, and Alliance probably won't force the issue here, but this is kind of a big window to fight. They know the exorcism's down. They know the epicenter was used. I think they could have afforded to be a little more aggressive, at least finish off the melee barracks before backing out. But you can't blame them for playing it safe. They know they've got the late game secured. There's a third Roshan up, so they'll go for some of this yummy cheddar. They will move into the Roche pit. So
I don't think I've ever seen a more swole Visage in my life. Plus 35 armor at points, plus 41. That is ridiculous for only having 4 base armor. He is
that great
in it to win it right now.
When you have the max layers, that gives you an extra fair bit there, a good plus 20. But yeah, the medallion plus the Assault Cuirass really helps beef him up. The familiars will get picked off, but they serve as a good bit of distraction as Roche goes down. Aegis of the Immortal does get picked too. Chessie does actually. The Venomancer gets the second life, and Naga will just take the cheese, though he's already passed it over. That
works
else.
nice. Now Chessie can go full kamikaze pilot mode, if you will, just kind of dive on in there with the blink, try to get the ultimate off right there, and a proper veil, and then could follow it up after as he makes the reprieve with the second life to do some damage.
What happened to the cheese?
Oh, I hope it was Gouda.
Did Loda eat it? Did they deny it? I saw it was picked up by Loda at first, and maybe he just ate it by accident. I totally missed it. But there is no more cheese. So somehow, some way, the cheese has disappeared. And it is just an Aegis on the Venomancer. Oh, the stolen exorcism once more in the mid lane. They'll grab Dread with the lasso. Artstyle taking a lot of damage. Will refresh, pop the second ultimate, but Dread first to go down. Now Artstyle in a bit too deep, it seems. The exorcism from Misery doing a lot of damage. It will be a 2-0. Now on the other side of the fight, they'll just try to make the retreat. Immune will TP home. Yoki turns, and now the sticky starts getting stacked. He'll get flame broke backwards. Loda gets force stabbed forward, but in comes Dubas with a big epi. That'll force the Aegis out, and Misery barely survives. Dubas just doesn't have enough damage by himself. He falls, and this is starting to feel like the end for the HellRaisers here, Kato Guy.
Oh, very heartbreaking for them after such a promising start, but it's all Alliance, the crafty veterans, if you will, holding strong, pushing on forward, using their Naga tactics, and just a fantastic support crew from everyone else, including the Ake Misery stolen combos, and there he goes, he grabs another. It is going to be the Mystic Flare grab from him, and, well, fighting on the outskirts of the front gate, it unfortunately is the Sand King who gets brought down promptly, so your mid-racks are going to be cleaned up just like that. Skywrath Mage also to fall, and now attention on the bottom. This is going to be potentially the beginning of the end. The white flag getting ready to be raised.
Yep, I think so. Just the Death Prophet standing, has an exorcism, but nothing she can do. That will be 2 lanes of barracks down. Alliance should be able to secure this one. Just looking at the graph, oh, how the mighty have fallen. A 20,000 gold swing over the course of about 15 minutes. And that is the power of this new patch, for better or for worse. It's been highly debated. They will find a kill onto the Bulldog, and maybe are we going to see a swing go back the other way? Yoki pops the ultimate, goes onto Ake. He'll just barely survive. Meanwhile, in the top,
That armor.
all they can find is the kill on the Bat Rider. So this is, well, maybe not the end for them, but still pretty crippling damage coming out of Alliance.
Definitely hard to come back from, considering Alliance is pretty much already at critical mass and have control of this game fully at what looked like a struggling start. Just very impressive performance from them and from Lotus. 6.6k for him. Well amount of gold. There's your butterfly completed in one fell swoop, and you know, what else is there to say? He even has a buyback, I would imagine, to benefit from after that. Yes, and then a Song of the Siren. There's just really nothing that can be done, I would imagine. And look at that. Then making things better, there's your blueberry double damage rune to bottle up.
Well, chat was kind enough to help us out. It was Loda that ate the cheese. Made a little bit of a goof there. Clicked the cheese by accident after it showed up in his inventory. So again, thank you, good sirs, for being so polite about it. Pleases and thank yous go a long way. Now, it is tied up 29-29, but yeah, the graph just tells a different story here. And
You ate the cheese, you dumbass.
oh, you're stupid, idiot, you're blind. Yeah, I know. I have eye problems. I'm colorblind. I can't see the cheese. God, do you think this game would have been different if Sand King had gotten a pipe instead of a Heart of Tarrasque?
I don't know. Probably not, I'd say. It just felt like at one point HellRaisers just became a little too recluse, maybe a touch overconfident. We saw Dread make some pretty crazy dives at some points without having proper backup, and it just kind of fell apart. And I think Alliance, you know, they had their game plan. They held it out as long as possible to get Loda into that peaking point. You know, Ake right there with proper support, plenty of armor to be able to deter any sort of exorcism coming their way, and it just was all they could ever ask for right now as they begin to ascend from the north, looking for the final crushing blow onto the HellRaisers.
Yeah, the Illusions have already cleared out the range rack, so it's just a singleton building standing here, keeping HR from certain defeat. They will have a glyph available, and this is their last stand, their final chance. If they can't do it here, won't be able to do it at all. Dubas in the front lines, using that Heart of Tarrasque. I'll see how it works out.
I had somehow, let's just say I got new information that the cheese was accidentally eaten from Loda to the point where he had gotten verbally frustrated about it. So regardless, he'll be happy to know that they're probably going to come out with a win as they quickly sweep through Razor, kidnapping him, pulling him on through. This is the all or nothing here for all Razors. Pushing on through, BKB popped here on the Death Prophet Exorcism, coming out in full duration, but already with 2 of his teammates to fall. Him retreating back, not much time left on the Exorcism, holding desperately onto their final racks and pushing on forward, but can't quite get it done. Ake with a mega kill streak. Serious work from the Visage player. Bulldog gets caught out, blasted down, and well, there's your sleep. It gets put out temporarily as they're trying to help out Dread. Isolated because of his BKB, immediately gets taken down. Loda dominating streak right now, and Yoki forced to try to waddle away from any more aggressive behavior, and all still standing from Alliance. There's your last racks to fall right now. Alliance, at the end of the day, in 4 games, look like they'll come out on top 3 for 4. That's all said and done.
Yeah, 3-1, not too shabby, so puts them in an okay spot in terms of the group stage. They'll finally get that full team wipe. Yoki will buy back, and he wants to stay in it until the bitter end. Glyph will finally come out as they push the tier 4s, and this will be the end of the HellRaisers. HR, the Human Resource Department. Oh boy, only so much you can do against the load of Nagasire 45 minutes into the game. They'll have one last stand as Immune goes down, the Mystic Flare flying through, the BKB Razor double ultimate. Bulldog is just standing on top of the throne having a dance party. Our Alliance actually going to get repelled here? Wow, HellRaisers are,
I guess they're
really hanging on.
Making them work really hard. You got to sweat it out if you want to take us out, I guess, says the HellRaisers. As this could be the end of the road for their Starladder run. But there we go. Art style. One more auto attack. That illusion able to help out in clearing him out. But it is Kessie that gets the final blow. Now attention on the shrine. And, well, those other teams out there in this new patch might need to consider finding a way to deal with Alliance. This new somewhat 4 Protect 1 style seems to be back in full force. Lotus Naga looking pretty strong. Maybe it's time to start consider addressing that earlier in the game, as he can prove to really come out with a big dominance, whether it's coming from ahead or behind.
Yeah, Alliance did a really good job this game of just creating space for Loda and minimizing their losses, but giving HR enough to keep them from really spending a lot of time hunting the Naga Siren. Bulldog, well, he'll get picked off as they will actually keep their throne standing. For how long, you say? Well, that stands to be answered. You see Kappa drawn out on the mini-map there, so that's good stuff. It's Jessie. He'll get cleaned up, and look at this. The throne, she's still alive, Coddle Bro.
HellRaisers they don't care to tap out. They're going to go to the bitter end.
They're in it to win it. Looks like they did read the patch notes after all, and they're like, guys, we got recovery gold. Look at the graph. Well, actually, maybe not, but they're plateauing at least. Well, might be time for a dad joke here. I'm not really sure what else to add. I hate to call them too soon, but I think it's over.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see any way that they can come back from this one. Even if Alliance get full wiped, Lotus still has a buyback.
It'll take about 2 or 3 full wipes and some severe 3-2-2 action if they wanted to get something done. Misery sneaks in, grabs out that burrow strike.
Look at Loda. He's sending these illusions in.
Look how much work it's taking just to take down one illusion here in the bottom lane. All the creeps, the Razor and Sand King can't even really get it done.
Yeah.
Rough stuff.
Rough stuff indeed.
No heartbreaking here for HeartRaisers.
HeartRaisers.
My heart's out to him, I guess. Is
Misery. He's gonna get caught out. Alliance. They're feeding away some pretty serious deaths. But look at this, Loda. He says, "Song of the Siren."
I'm tired of this. I'm ready to go out and do something else besides play Dota all day.
Go, my Naga babies! And they will not make it to the throne. This is some pretty serious defense here. As Dread, he makes it happen.
We're gonna go out like men. All right. We're going to hold the homeland as long as possible. Throne may be down to 1,200, but we're going to keep on fighting.
This is like the captain of the Titanic reincarnated in 5 Dota players. I go down with the ship. I will not get in a lifeboat, and I will not tap out early.
You're disgusted by your Naga Siren, and we will make you work the bitter end if you want this.
Yeah, that's probably some of it. I'm sure that's what Dread's saying right now. Okay, so BKB, looking at the graph, actually, they had a 5,000 spike off that. That's
please.
Pretty,
It's not happening.
Alright, well.
And I hate to just put it so bluntly, but,
we'll see. A lot of buybacks on the dire side are on cooldown, except that of Loda. He does have 10,000 gold and BOTs, so even if they kill him, they push out and force the buyback, he can just TP into the base and just destroy their throne. That's always an option.
Yes, the creeps going in. Yes, I'll make it to the throne. This illusion wants to get it. You can't stop me. Oh, nope. Gets shut down right before he gets one swinging.
Yeah, 1,000 hit points on the throne. It's taking heavy damage as the illusions just keep coming. They just keep coming. It's like the mail. It never stops.
Looks like Radiant's
Go. Static link on the illusion, getting as much damage as possible. Come on, baby.
I think Loda's still winning the race. It keeps getting slowly but surely ticked down.
From 12 to now 900. Molasses right here.
Yep. Molasses going uphill.
Okay, I mean, what has been the average game time for us today? It's been at least
60.
I feel like an
60
hour
plus.
per game. These are
Every VOD has been over 60 minutes.
Uh-oh, Dread caught out, kidnapped up, picked up by the Donger as they pull him right in. Okay, the dance game's coming on full force. There's your net, Fred. Desperately pulling out the blade mail, holding relatively strong right now. Get those familiars.
yeah.
Nope, blasted down immediately. He's done for. Dread seal it.
Slice up the bacon.
No more buyback for him. 80 seconds before he's going to be back in the living earth, and really, as far as damage goes, Death Prophet with Exorcism on hold here, maybe hoping to hold it strong, and Razor stepping out behind the front gate, doesn't really care, wants to stop them before they get in the base. Get the hell back!
Goes blow
Get
for
off
blow.
my lawn!
Loda, he'll take out
Get off
Jesse.
my lawn!
He'll bring him down. Now Bulldog takes some damage and lose the Sky Wrath, but art style.
What a man.
East, Loda, he drops the hammer. Meanwhile, in the base, Yoki.
Here we go, there we go, there we go.
Get that Bulldog off his leash.
I had to work for it. That was like 10 minutes of like a slow, painful, torturous death of them just fighting for their life.
That was painful. That's like it's like the end of the Civil War, man. You're just walking around the battlefield, all these people with mortal wounds but haven't died yet. They're just slowly bleeding out. Got to walk through and just...
I guess you just got to put them out of their misery.
Whoa!
Well, we got to be done for today.
Yeah, it's been a long day here, folks, but...